So I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I love a lot of your content, so I'm super excited to have you on and chat a little bit about your career as a magician. You're only 19. And so where did your love of magic come from when you were younger?
Yeah, for me, it really started when I was like 9 years old. A family friend just showed me a card trick. He wasn't even a magician or anything. He just knew this one card trick. He showed it to me, and I was just losing it. And then I was actually going through some personal stuff during that time, and I found that magic was just, it kind of just became my escape. So every day I would just learn a card trick off of YouTube and then go show it to my parents, and basically just did that every day for years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you've performed over 300 shows, including the Magic Castle, Yelp, Hawaiian, King's Hawaiian, Cedar Siani, and a bunch of other places. Is there a specific place for you that really sticks out of like you really enjoyed performing there and why?
I'm gonna say the castle stands out for sure. That's just like kind of my second home now, and it's where I've met my best friends, and we're always on call discussing various ideas and just how to make our shows better. And I also think the biggest thing that's come from it is the stage time. Like it's just invaluable being able to step on stage and do 20 shows a month over there, like always just cranking out shows and getting on stage because I think stage time is ultimately what is able to make you a polished performer.
Yeah, for sure. And so since you're still so young in your career, is there a specific like where you want to go next? Like what are some of your biggest hopes for your upcoming future?
Yeah, so right now I recently just filmed some TV stuff that should be coming out soon, and I'm super excited for that to come out. And then after that, I'm really thinking theater shows, to be honest. Like right now, I do magic full time. I dropped out of college and I'm doing a ton of private parties, corporate events, the castle, and just stuff like that. And then occasional like TV content type of stuff too. But I think ultimately being able to do the private and corporate events just on the side when I want, and then having my own theater show that I'm able to do consistently is really the goal. So next month, I'm doing like my first official real headline show where we're selling tickets and people are coming to just see me, which is like so insane to me to
Yeah.
even think about. But yeah, the goal is to make that a regular show that I can do consistently in LA as like a residency.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you've performed for a bunch of people, obviously. Is there like who are some of your biggest inspirations as a magician?
Ooh, let me think. I mean, honestly, I think just great art in general. Like, one of my friends is a huge Taylor Swift fan, and so like literally just consuming Taylor Swift and seeing like how insane it is, like this empire that she's built is just crazy to me. As for magic inspirations, though, I'm gonna say my favorite magician is probably Nate Staniforth. Um, I don't think he's as well known, but he is just phenomenal. And out of every magician I've seen, I think I have resonated with him the most in terms of my performance style. So I'm gonna say Nate Staniforth. We're gonna put Max Major up there as well.
Great.
And I'm gonna say David Blaine too, right? Classic. I used to be the biggest Aussie Win fan in the world. Aussie's got to be up there. Like his thinking is definitely still in my DNA. Yeah, I'm gonna say those guys are up there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Those are all great artists. And so you're talking about creating your own show right now. Is there like a trick that you really enjoy performing that you've created or that you perform so much that like you really love performing?
Yeah. There's a few that I am really in love with right now. The thing I'm most excited to do in this show is going to be fish hooks, which is basically like needle swallowing done with fish hooks instead of needles. And it's not my idea, it's a Ruben Villagrand idea, but I'm just happy with what I've done to it. And there's a few small changes that I've made to the routine. And I think it's also just very different from Ruben's, as his is done like classically to music, and then mine is more like silent, and we're making it like a little geek style. But I think I'm also trying to be like vulnerable and showing that I'm scared to do this. And yeah, that's a piece that I'm really loving right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so if you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self?
what a great question. I'm gonna say to just not worry, like I think having faith that things will work out. I think a few years ago, I have literally like these journal entries of times in my life where I felt really scared and alone, and I don't know if I can do magic full time. I don't know if this is a possibility. And it's like if you put in the work, it most certainly is. Like you can absolutely do magic full time as your career. And I think knowing that now brings me a lot of comfort and just yeah, it doesn't even matter about like right now thinking about the money and stuff like that. It's really just knowing like this is gonna work.
Yeah, for sure. And so this next question kind of ties into the last one. But what advice would you give to younger performers who want to pursue magic as a career?
Ooh. I'm gonna say it's really performing as much as possible. I think it's I don't even know that I've completely found it yet. I don't know that I ever will, but I think it takes a lot of time to find your own distinct style of doing things, and it's only been through performing a lot that I realized what magic it is that I really like. I used to be like primarily very heavily into cards, and then that was like what I did from ages 9 to maybe 16. And then I joined the castle. I started doing shows, and now it's like, okay, I'm getting on stage. What am I going to do on stage? I'm not going to do only cards. What am I going to do? And then figuring that out. And then after that, like the castle for me led to all of these private parties and corporate events and stuff. And so now I'm doing these private parties, and it's like, what material should I be doing here? And so I think your environment dictates it a lot, but I'm going to say just performing as much as possible is what's going to help you figure out who you are, and not just who you are, but also it's going to help you do magic full time. Because my entire thing behind it is word of mouth. Like a lot of my friends will market themselves far better than I do, but I think ultimately it's like like that saying of if you're good they will come, like just try and get so good that nobody can deny you, like being undeniably great is a goal of mine that I don't know that I will ever reach, but it's the goal for sure.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, when you talk about like word of mouth, the way I found you was literally just by watching a YouTube video, The Kevin Lang Show, and seeing you on
Oh yeah,
there. And then I was like,
that's
oh, sick, yeah.
yeah, literally, like I don't even do that much on socials and stuff like that, but recently started posting a few videos, and Kevin Lang came from one of my friends, Michael Campion, who was actually on the episode, and he was like, "Hey, there's this show. Do you want to go do it?" And I was like, "Sure." And I honestly like didn't even really know what the show was or how big it was until I did it, and then I was like, "Oh shoot, like this is pretty cool."
That was like a great episode. Like, that had some like amazing magicians on there too. Like
Yeah,
one with like Xavier, who's like a huge magician. He just came through Chicago a couple months back. Like he's phenomenal. And so like getting to perform with them, like that's just great, especially at such a young age.
yeah, so crazy. I feel like so honored to be in that lineup and so many other lineups. It's insane.
Yeah, for sure. And so that actually wraps up the interview today. I'd like to thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.